Hey guys. Mindfulness class every Monday, 7:15 p.m. to 7:45. You guys can keep talking.
I'm just over standing there. You can't talk to people because it's so loud and noisy. And then,
Okay.
but it's fine.
Special. Look who it is. Doris. Namaste.
Hey Doris, could I be on your trivia night team?
Yeah, you could use somebody else.
Huh?
You could use somebody else, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I just know what I know.
How many are these just CrossFit stuff?
It'll be like
Yeah,
CrossFit.
but they might ask where somebody works or something, Molly said.
Oh, so I want to do it.
Yeah, Saturday?
How did
Yeah.
David ask you?
Yeah.
And something's going on at this second. Would you tell me?
Yeah. Like, what do you want to know about?
Like last night, Reed was in the talent show and I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
Oh, okay. You don't have a second grader, do you?
No.
Oh.
You can, can I talk?
Keep talking. It's on. It's on. So if you want to get.
Okay, I'm not gonna get up. I mean, I could get upset, but it's not. Hello. Look at all these people that came.
Party.
Well, I come when I'm home.
It's Kim.
And when I'm not falling asleep at 7 because I'm
No,
getting up at 1.
I'm impressed. You guys that come in. Put my head in the light so nobody's getting blinded. Guys, welcome to Mindfulness class. Number 12 or 13. I don't know what we're on right now, but it's all blending together. We're going to use some stuff from John Kabat-Zinn's book, Wherever You Go, There You Are. Kind of showed that book. And then this one, did I show you this one last week? It's amazing. You know how it is. Every book you read is amazing. So it's called After the Ecstasy, the Lawn Tree, How the Heart Grows Wise on the Spiritual Path. And I like it because he takes the perspective practitioners that are Buddhist, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, Sufi. I mean, all these different ways to be more mindful, because there is not one way, right? There's a bunch of ways. And tonight's episode is Mindfulness is Like a Garden. Okay, so
I love it.
you got to dig it, right? Now, there's some good ones, and I'm sure you guys know some analogies that will kind of go with that. But let's do 3 minutes meditation, concentration on your breath. Okay, so posture, be here now, 3 minutes. Okay, and I'll just I'll let you know when we're there. Okay, go ahead. You guys at home, 3 minutes, good posture. Concentrate on the breath. you're feeling any tension, that's what you want to kind of let go of. Use your breathing to let go of that tension. Take a couple breaths and then come on out nice and slow. All right. Mindfulness. Such a peace with the breathing technique. You know what I mean? Just following the breath. It's such a nice, calming way. Even if you had 30 seconds in your day, it's an easy way to get it done. So tonight's episode, brought to you by Killcliff. No. By Wherever You Go, There You Are, the book by Jon Kabat-Zinn, where he uses the garden as an analogy for mindfulness. And I like what he did, and I think you guys will too. So I'm going to read from the notes. Mindfulness is like a garden. We need a rich, healthy soil. That's you. You're the soil, okay? And there's certain characteristics, mental characteristics or attitudes, that makes the soil richer, makes it easier for the seed to be planted, right? And some of those characteristics could be like patience, trust, persistence, loving kindness for yourself and others, forgiveness of yourself and others, willingness to do the work, courage. Like those are just some other characteristics. You guys can think of any other characteristics that are helpful? Maybe that you've had to...
Humbleness.
Yeah, I think that's a great one. Yeah. Humility to even consider that there's... Empathy. Yeah. Yep. So these really important characteristics that we all possess, you know, and certain things happen to us in life that amplify, you know, whether you've been around tragedy or you've been hurt or you know what I mean, you realize you were judgmental. So we can relate to each one of these. But for me, it was persistence. I tend to give up easy, and I need to remember to stick with it. So the seeds of enlightenment or awakening are sometimes planted when we are present with like an infant. If you've ever been around an infant, it was just born, or you just feel something, some life from them. Okay. Or even in the death of a loved one, when that brushes up against you, that really cracks your heart, opens it up. Okay. And what it does is it allows us, or even like witnessing like a sunset or like the ocean. Just being on vacation in Mexico, it was like the ocean was mindfulness. It was just easy, nature. Or even finding a moment of stillness in your hectic day. What these do to us is they give us a sense for the deep mystery of what it means to be alive. There's something there. There's something more. And that's why we're here. We're seeking something deeper, right? And the beautiful part is that you don't have to go anywhere. You know, the deep mystery to be alive is right underneath your nose, your breath. But we have these characteristics, this rich soil. And when our soil is rich, those moments, those seeds are planted. We're open. They always happen, whether we know it or not. The sunset always comes up, right? It's always, there's a moment. There's a moment. So it can be anywhere. We have to till the soil. We have to, the garden, right? You gotta take care of that soil, or our minds, and that's through meditation, cultivating stillness, awareness, mindfulness, being present for everything, which is hard to do. To always be present, it's easy. We just lose track. But how do we till the soil? Is you constantly come back to the breath, back to the awareness. You face the heat without running away or numbing it. It's so easy to run away. It's so easy to numb it. And you know what I mean. And meditation or mindfulness is facing it. It is facing it. It's not running away. It's not being zenning out for 3 minutes and everything's good. It actually takes a lot of energy and work to face whatever you've been hurt with, or whatever's going on in the world, or now you're not becoming a victim going into it. You're just becoming aware of it, and that's tilling the soil. That's keeping the soil rich. That's persevering. That's having courage. That's learning forgiveness, patience. And we always have to come back. It's never perfect. There's always another weed in that soil, isn't there? Side note, usually we do this work when our inner motivation is strong enough to want to cease contributing to our own continued suffering and confusion. When we get so sick of whatever is going on inside, that's when we decide to change, right? And so we put up with a lot of crap for a long time. And when you're finally sick of it, you change. And that's a gift. And so we got to appreciate the bad stuff too. Because it's not so bad if it helped us out. It was almost as if it was planted there to help us out. So a bad childhood, abuse, we don't say that person, whoever did it to her, whatever happened, is off the hook. But there's forgiveness. We don't live in the past anymore. We don't live in the past.
Doesn't kill you, it makes you grow stronger.
Right on. So soil's rich with these characteristics, these attitudes that we have. We have these characteristics. Some are easier than others for us, right? We till the soil. We got to continue to be mindful of it. We can grow. We can continue to grow. We don't want to just stay. Nothing stays the same. It always grows. We face the heat. And then there's ethics. Ethics can be described as doing something for inner reasons, not because someone is keeping score. Why do you do something? Why do you do something? My mom, one time when I was younger, I stole gum from our IGA in Athens. And I was really young. Hey man, that was gum. What a minute. She made me go back in. Oh, I was so embarrassed. Best lesson ever. You know what I mean? So sometimes we have to learn ethics. That's something we learn. Kids don't always know that, so right? We need to do that with ourselves. We need to have deep reasons why we do this practice, or deep reasons why we want to cultivate more loving kindness in our life. We have to have reasons, not because I want to be a better person, even though that's a good reason. It's got to be deeper than that. It's got to be deeper than that. I want something. I'm searching for that mystery. Ethical behavior is the fence around your garden that keeps the goats out, right? Especially when you're starting it, when you're building it up, right? And you're getting these fresh new plants popping up, right? You still have to have, why are you doing it? Why are you still meditating? Is it just because, I don't know, that everybody else is doing it? It's like, no, there's got to be a deep reason for you, your vision, nobody else's. Keep the goats out. It is remembering that things unfold in their own time. The seasons cannot be rushed, cannot be hurried. We live in Illinois. We know what seasons are. Winter, come on, right? But really, patience. Patience. We can't rush it. The seasons cannot be hurried. Lao Tzu, author of the Tao Te Ching and the founder of Taoism, a long time ago, had this quote: "Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished." Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. I think if we could apply that to our day-to-day life, allowing things to unfold. Take those opportunities when they're presented and you're aware, but don't feel like you need to rush. What's the rush? Wherever you go, there you are. Keep the weeds out. If you've ever started a garden, there's a ton of weeds at the beginning. There's a lot of work, right? You're like, man, I don't know about this, right? But the more you do it, there's less and less weeds. It's easier to maintain. You can grow different plants. Now you're learning how to, and so we're not trying to get this amazing garden. We're not, even though you may have a vision, it's like we're not trying to grow like peach trees or anything like that right off the bat. We're starting simple. But 3 months, 3 years, whatever, you might have the greatest garden ever and you didn't intend to do that. It just happened. So let things unfold in their own time. If you feel like you're not a very mindful person, let things unfold. You will get there. The patience that you practice will start to bleed over into the rest of your life. The kindness that you have for yourself will slowly start to bleed over. The patience that you have with yourself will bleed over to other people. It all starts from within. It's always from within. And every moment is another opportunity. So let's do another meditation, guys. Let's do another 3-minute meditation. And something that can be helpful in mindfulness is to track your thoughts. So just do the best you can for 3 minutes to just see where your mind bounces around to. And it will bounce, right? And that's one of the biggest things, is to notice how your mind is crazy, okay? And how you are not your mind. You are not your thoughts. You are going to observe your thoughts.
Oh, that's Elkhart. What's his name?
Tully?
Yeah.
Let's observe for 3 minutes. And if you get lost, you just use your breath to get right back. It is. Just start digging some weeds. 3 minutes. Or what are some of your automatic negative thoughts? Or even positive thoughts? No judgment. Takes a little energy and work. Try to observe. What are the goats in your garden? Take a few breaths and come back. It is hard. It is hard sometimes to observe. But you can't just meditate and zen out all the time. You got to do the work of observing. Imagine a time you get really angry. If you can get behind the anger, that go deeper and see what it's all about, you can start to harness that energy for more understanding and wisdom. But if you can't see behind it and you're constantly in the stream, who's in charge? Little you or big you? The other person, yeah, right. And even years later, you're still holding on.
My husband says, don't let them rent space in your head.
Nice, yes.
He's a counselor.
Yep. Yeah, there's so much wisdom. It doesn't have to be a Buddhist monk, or it doesn't have to be a Zen. There's so much wisdom from everybody, Okay, guys, I have a story. It's a quick one. I think stories are great. That's why I like this book a lot. There's a lot of good stories, okay? And it'll have a lot of deep meaning. Okay. A traditional Swedish story gives a sense of the next phase of the journey. Because of the mishaps of her parents, a young princess named Aris must be married to a fearful dragon. Okay, the best stories, right? When the king and queen tell her, she becomes frightened for her life, but recovering her wits, she goes out beyond the market to seek a wise woman. The wise woman tells Aris that she indeed must marry the dragon, but there are proper ways to approach him. She then gives instructions for the wedding night. In particular, the princess is to wear 10 beautiful gowns, one on top of the other. The wedding takes place, a feast is held in the palace, after which the dragon carries the princess off to his bedchamber. When the dragon advances toward his bride, she stops him, saying that she must carefully remove her wedding attire before offering her heart to him. And he too, she adds. This is what she was instructed by the wise woman. So he must properly remove his attire. To this he willingly agrees. As I take off each layer of my gown, you must also remove a layer. Then, taking off her first gown, the princess watches as the dragon sheds his outer layer of scaly armor. Though it is painful, the dragon has done this periodically before. But then the princess removes another gown, and then another. Each time the dragon finds he too must claw off a deeper layer of scales. By the 5th gown, the dragon begins to weep copious tears at the pain. Yet the princess continues. With each successive layer, the dragon's skin becomes more tender, and his form softens. He becomes lighter and lighter. When the princess removes her 10th gown, the dragon releases the last of the dragon form and emerges as a man. A fine prince whose eyes sparkle like a child's, released at last from the ancient spell of his dragon form. Princess Aris and her new husband are then left to the pleasures of their bridal chamber to fulfill the last advice of their wise woman with 12 children. As in a dream, all the figures in such a story can be found within us. We find the scaly dragon and the attending princess, the wise grandmother, the irresponsible king and queen, the hidden prince, and the unknown one who has cast his enchantment long ago. What this story reveals from the start is that the journey is not about going into the light. The forces of our own human history and entanglement are tenacious and powerful. I'll repeat that. The forces of our own human history and entanglement are tenacious and powerful. The path to inner freedom requires passing through them. The first time I read that story, I was kind of confused, and then it opened up more. I was like, man, those layers that are kind of painful to face and to shed. But notice as the dragon did that, the shade got tender and softer, So mindfulness meditation is observing the fire, seeing the issues. What are we still holding on to? What have we forgot we're still holding on to? Be compassionate for everybody. Try to see your own mistakes. Try to realize everybody else has their own mistakes too, right? And I think we get that, you know. So before you overreact, before I overreact or I get angry, can I first take a breath? First realize what's real and what's not real. And that's all it is. That's all mindfulness is. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And like the garden, it gets easier, it gets better, it gets sweeter. But not because you're trying to necessarily have the best garden in town, right? You're not trying to show off. It's for you. It's for you. And it's for the rest of the world. Let's finish with a 1-minute smiling meditation. Smile, love your heart, love yourself first. 1 minute, hug your heart. Go ahead. Take a breath and come back. All right, guys, thanks for being here tonight. Namaste.
Thank you. Thanks, Chad.